since 2016, I've been kind of just in and out of different jobs, and currently I'm deferring from Stanford University to pursue my career in acting and directing.
We graduated in 2006, and then both Jaren and I went to the University of Washington in Seattle. I majored in communications journalism, and then we graduated in 2010. That same year, without a break, went straight to the University of New Mexico School of Law and got my law degree. And then in 2013, started working, and now I work as a personal injury attorney in Albuquerque.
Yeah, as Nick said, we went to the University of Washington. I was actually a communications major. Took a year off after college, went to Nepal to do a medical trek. Applied to University of New Mexico School of Medicine. Got in, graduated there in 2015. I just finished an internal medicine residency at University of Arizona in Tucson. And now I'm doing a 2-year rheumatology fellowship at University of New Mexico Hospital.
Well, I just finished my first year at Oberlin College, which was absolutely wonderful. There I took 9 different classes in 8 different departments because I'm still trying to figure out what I want to do. But after my first year, I've started narrowing it down, and I'm intending on double majoring in psychology and German.
I went to UNM for 2 semesters. It was fantastic, it was great. I moved to New York City. I go to the Cooper Union for the Advancement of Science and Art. It's an art and engineering school, so I'm studying graphic design and sculpture as a major, and then physics as a minor.
So the first gig I ever got was actually here at Bosque, which was a part of a film called The Revenant, directed by Alejandro González Iñárritu. And I think the best thing about being a student here was that the faculty and staff and everybody was so supportive with my journey with the film. And I think when I was on the production, all the teachers here were a part of a new sort of journey because they never had a student who was trying to learn, you know, in a different country.
I think the academics at Bosque were really rigorous, and I think that really helps you at college because, or during college, because you have a lot of deadlines, a lot of different assignments, living on your own for the first time.
When I got to college and I started taking chemistry and physics and stuff, I had the tools that I needed to just like study effectively and get the grades that I needed to get into medical school, you know? So it's like, I learned the tools here kind of without even like knowing I was really learning them.
I think Bosque's writing intensive curriculum really prepared me well for college. And I know that's something that I hear a lot of alumni say when I hear them talk about going to Bosque, and I think it's definitely true. I attended a first-year seminar, which was about the history of piracy, and we had to write a few shorter research papers, and after having written a 30-page senior thesis, writing like a 6-page essay really just didn't seem that challenging at all.
So at Bosque, my interest in art was always very supported by both like the art teachers and the science teachers. There were always supplies around. The rooms are full of light. It's a great place to work.
You know, being part of such a huge project like The Revenant and then coming back here was really nice because, one, the people here that you meet in such a small classroom setting as well as a small school setting are a lot more intimate than I think if you went to a larger school. So being able to come back to a place that I knew was, you know, a community and was more of a home, it was a lot more comforting, and I think that support definitely helped me a lot with support as an artist as well as support in my education.
I can't remember what age we were. We went to go swim with the manatees in Florida with Miss Mahoney. And we had this house, and this was before Airbnbs and all of that stuff. And we were just all kind of sleeping in the living room, you know, eating cookies and just watching movies and hanging out. And that was just such a cool experience. And also swimming with manatees was great as well, just to kind of get out of your comfort zone and do something, a trip that I would never take on my own.
For me, is like being on the basketball team with Craig Snow and being with all our buddies and stuff and playing basketball. It's just, you know, we weren't the best basketball team, but just like the life lessons that I learned with Craig Snow, you know, he was just like a very motivated person. He always had big dreams, and he would always tell Nick and I to have like a 5-year and a 10-year plan, you know, and still to this day I think like that. You know, I'm like, what am I gonna be doing in 5 years? What am I gonna be doing in 10 years? I've always kind of looked up to him in a way that's kind of like, he's always been chasing his dreams. And I kind of like, even remember like in locker rooms when he would talk to us after the games, after we would lose, it was just the lessons that we learned after we lose was kind of more important than just winning. And that's kind of what I learned from just being on that team for a couple years.
I think it was my sophomore year at Bosque, I was approached by two of my former math teachers, and they wanted me to start a math tutoring group on campus. So I ended up leading a service learning group here, which I didn't really expect I would be doing, and I remember being really nervous because I didn't have any leadership experience at all. But I definitely realized that I could lead a group and do all of the logistics and planning that went along with that.
It seems like all of my special memories kind of come back to the extracurricular activity that I was interested in while I was here, which was cross country. And I just remember this one run. We ran back from the volcanoes to Bosque School, and during this run, I twisted my ankle like 3 times, and it took me like 5 hours to get back. But the entire time I had the other co-captains running with me, and Dan Shaw was still there at 7 p.m. waiting at the science building, and he was like, "Diego, that was a great run." I was just like, "Dan, are you kidding me? Like, that was the worst run I've ever had." And he was like, "But you made it back."
I guess for kids coming into Bosque, it can seem like everything is so, I don't know, you're kind of caught in this wonderful school, and I think you start to forget that it's so special that you're here and that there's just so much opportunity here, and I just don't think that you should ever take that for granted.
Thinking back to, like, if I would tell a kid, you know, who was in 5th grade, you know, you could really do anything you want to do from Bosque. Do you know what I mean? Like, you have all the resources you need, you have all the support you need. You just, anything you want to do, you can do. Like, we were talking about robotics, or be a teacher, or be a doctor or a lawyer. I mean, there's just like so many options, and I don't think a lot of high schools give you that.
Forrest Goodluck, class of 2016.
Nicholas Trost, class of 2006, and this is Adelina Luna Salazar Trost, and she is class of 2032.
I'm Jaren Trost, class of 2006.
Ruth Bieber Stanley, class of 2017.
Diego Herrera, class of 2016.